The adventure continues this week on Ford Outfitters.
Muskies can be a grind, and it's one of the hardest fish in the world to catch, so we're just going to try to put the odds in our favor. Oh, that's a big one, it's a big one, it's a big one. God, look at him, look at him, look at him.
I know. Dude, you kidding me?
I need some heart medication.
Oh, I do too. Now that's big game fishing right there. Big game hunting.
Fred Eichler has taken all 29 species recognized by Pope & Young with a recurve bow. Conway Bowman cracked the code for Mako sharks on the fly. The outdoors has led them to adventures around the world. Now, two of North America's most accomplished sportsmen and their Ford trucks are on a mission to learn the secrets and stories of America's best outfitters. This is The Outfitters, built by Ford F-Series.
I just pulled into Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'm going to be fishing with Brett Alexander of Alexander Sport Fishing. Brett has a great operation that targets smallmouth bass, walleyes, but what he really targets and what I'm most interested in are muskies and big muskies. The muskie is a holy grail fish for a lot of people, and to get one over 45 inches is a lifetime achievement. So my goal is to get a muskie over 45 inches. They're a great predator, and I love fishing for predators.
Located due north of Chicago, Illinois and Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Green Bay is the third largest city on the western shore of Lake Michigan. There's more to Green Bay than football and cheese. This industrial hub is home to over 100,000 friendly, hardworking people, and the bay itself abounds with year-round fishing opportunities. There's no better locale for a freshwater angling fanatic like outfitter Brett Alexander.
I've been fishing all my life for over 40 years, the Bay of Green Bay. I started guiding about 11 years ago just to supplement what I was spending on fishing to try to balance things out. I was a full-time firefighter at the time, and within like a 3-year period I built up a pretty big business to where I actually ended up quitting the fire department and running a full-time outfitter business. But today we're looking at the big challenge of the weather. Conway's going to go out with one of the guys that works for me, Scott Valesky. I had a pre-commitment to another group of clients, so I'll be out with them today, but we're going to see what Scott's got and how the weather plays out.
We have a phenomenal trophy walleye fishery up here in the northern part of Green Bay. Usually what we tell clients when we're coming up here is we're fishing for 5-6 bites a day. The nice thing about it is if you do hook up, it's going to be a real good quality fish.
Tough fishing made tougher by inclement weather on the bay.
We tried to jig, the wind was blowing too hard, but it was hard to keep the boat in position. There he is, got him. I had one fish on, pretty early on. Oh, I lost him, son of a gun.
Came off?
Yeah. We decided to do some trolling, and that proved even difficult. So the odds were definitely against us. You don't know until you go. We went out, we tried. You gotta go out, you gotta give it a shot. Yesterday, we had kind of a rough day out on the water with Scott. The weather was horrible, but I'm looking forward to going back and targeting these walleye with you, because it looks like we've got a little bit better weather.
Yeah, you know, you stepped into a kind of a bad weather pattern starting out here. It has tamed down some today. We're gonna have some heavy winds yet, but we're gonna go out and see what we can do. We're gonna fish an area that's known for really big walleye, so it's not gonna be a numbers game, but we're gonna hunt some big fish today. And I think with what I'm seeing with the weather pattern, I'm sure we're gonna find some good ones. Basically, we're going to be going out to an island structure which has some shallow rock bars and sandbars coming off of it. We're going to set up and use the wind to our advantage. A lot of times these fish, what'll happen is when the wind blows, it'll blow the bait fish up on these shallow spots. So we're going to be setting out a little bit deeper and then casting into the shallow sandbars and rock bars, working these jigs and plastics where the bait fish and the walleye should be sitting. You always want to keep your rod, watch how my rod's always elevated. That way when it's dropping, you got tension on your line and you'll feel it when it's dropping when they hit. Okay. They'll usually whack it pretty good when it's dropping like that. You'll feel one quick thump.
So walleyes, they sort of cruise along the bottom and they feed around rocks, right? And they're eating a food item called a goby, like a little minnow. And they go along and they root those up, and the little gobies kind of scoot up like this and then go back down to hide under a rock. And honestly, trying to imitate that with the jig was pretty difficult for me. It was hard to kind of get that rhythm down. In addition to that, there was a little bit of wind on the water. And I mean, so watching your line in the field, it was totally different than any sort of jig fishing I'd ever done. There he is.
Got him. Nice.
Man, that was, just like you said, dude, that thing just went dead, you know?
Can Conway put a trophy Green Bay walleye on the board? And later,
Get him.
will he fumble an opportunity at the fish of a lifetime when the Outfitters returns? The Outfitters is brought to you by the Ford F-150, the future of tough. After enduring a stormy initiation, Green Bay welcomes Conway back with blue skies and optimism. The calm after the storm can bring a good walleye bite, and under outfitter Brett Alexander's tutelage, the odds are in his favor.
There he is.
Got him. Nice.
Man, that was, just like you said, dude, that thing just went dead, you know?
Turn him over this way, bud.
Oh, he's off. Oh. So what the happened there?
Yeah, just go real easy on them when you got them hooked up. Let them use that drag and stuff. Because a lot of times they're right in the edge of the lips. They fight them funny here. When we get up like right close to the sandbar, you can do some cast to the side of it and work the edge down to the side too. That works. There's one. Whacked it right on the bottom.
Get him.
Got him.
Get him.
Good one too, bud.
Nice. Need the net?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Get ready, he's coming up. You want to scoop him deep. This is a good fish. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh baby.
Oh,
big girl.
Size of that guy. Oh my God.
Awesome fish, man. Way to start
I've
out.
never seen a walleye that big. Oh my gosh, look at that thing.
Now what we want to do is, you want to go on that hummingbird quick and just hit me a waypoint. Just hit mark.
So meeting Brett was pretty cool. You know, Brett's like the guru up in this area for not only walleye, but even big muskies. And immediately I knew this guy had his stuff wired pretty good. Wow, that is the biggest walleye I have ever seen.
There's some bigger ones here, but that's a dandy right there. This is probably a 26-inch fish, but it's pretty heavy for a 26-incher.
Well done, man. That's
We'll
great.
get this one back in the water.
Great, sounds good.
All right. I like to let these big ones go and
Sure.
let them breed.
Absolutely, I totally hear you. Look at that.
Right back down. We'll catch her again another day.
Nice job, man. God, that was great. So the wind continued to build, and there were white caps forming. It was challenging, to say the least.
There's one.
Nice. Get him here. You know, it's not just about catching the fish. It's about learning what a great outfitter and a great guide like Brett can teach you. And it's just a matter of just keeping your ears open.
Okay.
Net time. And that's a great thing about fishing with a guy like him.
Probably net them on this side right here. Come over right here behind me. Big walleye.
Oh boy.
Bigger than the last one.
Oh my gosh, this thing's massive, man.
It's a giant.
Yeah.
Scoop him. Oh,
Look at that thing.
that's what we're looking for.
Good God.
Probably the hardest part of running my outfitter business. It's a one-man show. I do everything myself. So time management is probably my hardest thing that I deal with every day. Just trying to keep everything organized and running smooth.
Awesome, get him back in there. Whew. Boy, that's killer. So the walleye fishing was great.
There he is. Get him, baby. Got him.
Even though I didn't catch any, I hooked a couple. You are the walleye master. Net man.
You're getting pretty good on that net, I gotta give you that.
Got it. We brought a couple to the net. I learned a new technique.
Good. I'm always looking for a good first mate for netting fish.
But I am chomping at the bit to go target a big muskie. And that, I mean, that is honestly what I'm really here for. Variety's great, but I want the predator. I want the apex predator. I want the trophy. And that's what we're gonna do next. Holy moly!
Today we're gonna fish for my favorite thing to fish for. We're gonna hunt trophy muskies on the Bay of Green Bay.
So the day's starting early, 5 a.m., and the plan is we're gonna fish all day long.
Hey Conway, you can hold tight. I'm just gonna tie up a quick bait here, okay?
Cool. It's going to be a long, arduous day, but to catch that trophy fish, we have to put in the time.
Basically, we fish the muskies two different ways. We either cast for them or we'll troll for them. Today we're gonna troll for the muskies. We're gonna run out a lot of lines. We use planer boards to pull multiple lines off the sides of the boat. We're gonna speed troll, so we're gonna be trolling fast. and we're gonna run crank style baits. So we're gonna run some super shads today, and we're gonna run some storm baits today and see if we can't put some big fish in the boat. The weather for today looks great. We've got partly cloudy skies, calm winds, and it should be a good day. All right, we got everything set up now.
And we got 10 rods out. I mean, this is an amazing spread. I've never seen anything like this.
We got a big spread. We're gonna cover a lot of water. These muskies down here on Green Bay are spread out on these big sand flats. So the name of the game is just cover water, find the bait fish. So right now I'm looking for bait.
Okay.
And we're gonna try to pinpoint these things down and find out where they are.
Awesome, good. I feel a big one coming. So Brett and I get out there and we set the lines, set the plugs, the planer boards, and I don't know, maybe 10 minutes later.
Oh, nice and easy, bud, nice and easy. Oh yeah, that's a fish there.
The rod is just totally bent and Brett freaks out. It's a muskie. Here he comes.
Get my tools ready.
All right.
Now this is pretty exciting. We just set up. I mean, a lot of times you gotta put 8-10 hours in to get a fish. We got one in 10 minutes.
Really? Good gosh. Awesome.
And it looks like a good one. He's staying down deep. Oh, he's staying way down.
Yeah, I got a feeling we got a nice one here, buddy.
He's way down.
So I fight the fish to the boat. I still don't have a look at this fish. And then all of a sudden I see it.
Ooh, it's a good one.
Holy moly.
Nice and easy. He's barely hooked now. He's right on the tip of the lip. Got him!
Yeah!
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Oh my God. That's the way to start the day. Look at it, just come on, button.
You gotta be kidding me.
Just come off a super shot.
Oh, no
see
way. That just didn't happen. How do you hold them?
I'm gonna show you right now.
It was way bigger than I thought.
Oh, now this is...
Here I am holding this giant muskie.
Oh man, what a fish.
And that sucker measured out to 48 inches. So right there, I got my holy grail muskie and I'm maybe a half hour into this trip. You know, so it's like, what the heck? What's so hard about this fishing, right?
All right, now you feel her body start moving? That's when she's ready. You can just let her swim away.
There she goes.
There she goes.
But I know when that kind of stuff happens, it's gonna be a long day.
When you're muskie fishing, you've got to have patience. If you're looking for a lot of activity, muskie is not the species that you want to fish for. One thing you want to pay very close attention to is watching your lunar cycles. Basically, there's 4 periods during the day where you'll see the activity of a muskie increase greatly, and that is your moon overhead, your moon underfoot, and your moon set and your moon rise. So those are the 4 times during the day where if you're planning out your day on the water, you want to try to target at least 1 or 2 of those time frames while you're going to be out chasing muskies. What I like to do is when you hit the slow periods, just keep working the baits, change depths, change colors, change speeds. I changed my speeds a couple times. A lot of times, you speed it up, you can get some reaction bites when they're not even feeding. So you just learn with years of experience what these fish do and where they go. Oh, right. Get him, get him, get him, get him. That's a muskie. He's coming up. Got him.
Oh yeah,
oh,
baby.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Another one, another big one. Oh,
he's a wild one. Oh,
is he off?
Right as I was gonna scoop. It's always a bummer when you lose a muskie. You work so hard to get that bite. You finally hook them up and then you lose them at the net. That's a heartbreaker.
So Brett and I are pretty dejected. We're just like kind of moping around the boat. He sets the lines again and we're just like, gosh darn it. Then all of a sudden, boom, he's like, muskie!
I don't like it when they jump.
You like it or don't?
I don't.
We got one more chance.
That's when they get off. Oh, nice and easy, bud, nice and easy. Oh yeah, that's a fish there.
It often takes years to catch a trophy class muskie, but miraculously, Conway and Brett tied into a massive fish in the first few minutes of dropping lines in Lake Michigan. Their luck would change as hours passed before they hooked their second fish. Only to lose it at the boat. But Brett has a theory that foretells of more action yet to come.
Everybody has their theories on the moon phases and what it does to activate the fish. My theory is it's a gravitational pull that the fish actually feel that turns them on and turns them into the feeding mode. Basically, when I'm talking the major and the minor periods for the muskie for the day, there's one time during the day where it's supposed to be the best activity for catching a muskie, and that is going to be your major. And then there's a secondary time during the day where the activity is supposed to be the second best, and that's called your minor. Oh, that's a big one, it's a big one, it's a big one.
Oh, he just jumped in.
That's a 50 plus, man.
Oh my God. Dude.
Oh, we gotta get this fish in, man. It's a giant. He's up on top, he's up on top.
Oh, dude.
I don't like it when they jump.
You like it or don't?
I don't. That's when they get off.
When I grabbed that rod, I could feel how heavy that fish was. It was massive. Then it jumped, and then Brett goes, oh my God, it's over 50. Oh, brother.
All the grinding,
You know it. I mean,
head dropping, and now it's time right now.
Fought this fish all the way to the boat, and it was just like really, really super heavy.
God, look at him, look at him, look at him.
I know.
Got him!
Yeah.
He's big, man.
Dude, you kidding me?
I need some heart medication.
Oh, I do too. Oh my.
This is a giant, dude.
Oh man.
You know, it was a true battle. That fish really pulled, and Conway did a great job on the rod. All the cards laid out right. Ready?
Holy smokes.
Okay, we're gonna measure it. You gotta mark the tail for me on the carpet.
Okay, got it.
Okay, I gotta get her back in.
Okay.
Okay, hop down here.
So catching a world-class muskie like that, I feel two things. I feel really lucky, but I also feel privileged.
53 inches, bud.
Oh my
That
God.
is a beast. Biggest muskies ever on film anywhere in
Really?
a long time, yeah.
And the reason why is because there are a lot of people that fish these fish their entire lives, and they don't get a fish like that. So you can't do that without a great guide either, a guy who really knows the water. So Brett did a tremendous job at putting me in the right position at the right time, worked tremendously hard to do that, and it worked.
There she goes, she's ready. There she goes.
What else is there to do? Catch a 60-incher, I guess, right?
Basically, it's getting later in the day now. I know there's very likely going to be another feeding period when the sun is setting. So my plan of attack is to keep grinding the spot where we caught the big 53, because I know that in these areas, these fish here on Green Bay pod together, they hunt in groups. So my focus is where we caught the fish and exactly what we're doing, and that's my game plan for the rest of the day. It's just to keep grinding that spot, running the same baits and the same speed.
So I've got my 53-inch Holy Grail muskie, but Brett is still very focused on catching some more fish because we're still in prime time. And so we're trolling along, and then, no joke,
Fish, 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 fish!
the rod's bent again. I'm like, oh my God.
He's going, that's a big one. That's a good one. Yeah. Ooh, got a hook in my leg.
I'm fighting this fish, and I'm like, this is another big muskie.
Oh man, that's a big fish. Yeah, that is a real big fish.
Is that your buddy right there?
Yeah, he just lost a big fish right here in the same area. It just shows you how these fish will pot up. He called me and told me he was hooked up. So I wheeled over here and bingo.
So here I am fighting this muskie number 3. Part of me is like, I gotta get it in the boat for Brett. Because this guy's been busting his butt all day long, putting me in the right position. Look, he's just coming in like a shark. He's staying right below the surface.
Oh, look at her, look at her, look at her.
Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing better fresh water than catching a giant muskie like this.
That is tremendous, man.
Oh my God, she heavy. Barely hooked too.
Yeah, nice job.
Oh man, what a giant again.
Nice job.
You got 2 giants.
Here, let me do this over here.
Oh. Woo! Oh my gosh.
Good job, brother. Nice work.
That's awesome.
Nice work. Oh my gosh. Now that's big game fishing right there.
Oh, that's a
That
giant.
is big game fishing, big game hunting.
Now, one thing when you take a big fish out on a net like this, you gotta be really cautious, because when you go to grab them, I've already had 14 stitches in my hand.
Really?
One wrong move in the head and they can slice you wide open. Oh, she's big, man. Oh.
Brett this is no joke, he's the hardest working outfitter I've ever fished with.
Oh, she's heavier than the other one.
Way. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. Got her?
There wasn't one moment where he wasn't focused on the fishing.
Holy moly, is she giant. As soon as I netted it, I knew it was another giant fish. It didn't quite have the length that the 53 did, but it had more girth and probably weighed about the same. To put 3 fish in the boat, 48 and bigger, I mean, any hardcore muskie angler, those are the days they dream of.
Brett represents what Green Bay, Wisconsin's all about.
There she goes. Look at that big beast swim away.
Hardworking and really dedicated to whatever they do, so whether it's fishing or whatever. I mean, Brett runs a huge outfitting operation.
I'll tell you what, that tops the cake. This is an incredible day of muskie fishing. We didn't catch a lot of fish, but you caught some giants.
What a day, man.
I mean, there's some big fish.
He has 1 month off a year, that's December. He's out there actually working every single day. And to see that kind of dedication, he's walking the walk and he's talking the talk. He's a hard worker. You know, he's a great representative of what this region's all about, and specifically Green Bay, Wisconsin.